been thinking about why so many people swarm into the movie industry. It can't just be for the money. One box office bomb will drop you down to your last dime. Nor for the fame. The paparazzi will ruin your reputation before you ever set foot on the red carpet. I think ultimately, it is the desire to express oneself that draws us all in, like moths to the limelight. Action! You're...
Hello, ma'am. I'm writing a report on the critter brawl at Dodger Stadium. The first thing we learned as vigilance...
Hear this! For us!
For us!
For poetry!
For poetry!
For us!
For us!
For free will!
For free will!
For us!
For us!
For literature!
Literature!
Our haven!
Our haven!
The Panopticon!
The Panopticon!
Nowhere else but here!
Doris, that blind writer? 3 days ago, she asked me for directions to Comala prison. Prison?
This is an experimental facility. Soon you'll see just what that means.
Jailer, who is the ruler of this prison?
According to the agreement, the Idealist and I represent the two factions of La Sociedad. In light of his possible assassination, the Congress will now be chaired by me. What are we doing here? What even is this prison?
You are a prisoner of Comala, and a guest of Manus Vindictae.
Fiction and reality are two parts of a whole. We're trapped in a story with a predetermined ending.
Hace algunos años, trabajé como guardabosques en un campamento en Cuernavaca. Allí conocí a un poeta surrealista mexicano. Estaba especialmente agradecido de que estuviera ahí. Unos animales habían entrado al campamento y los ahuyenté por él. No fue gran cosa, en realidad. Como muestra de agradecimiento, me explicó esta extraña historia. Una que ocurrió en un pueblo del desierto de Sonora, llamado Amalfitano, en 1975. La gente ahí seguía una creencia muy poco ortodoxa, que giraba en torno al Dado de Babilonia. Un día, una investigadora con una maleta llegó al pueblo. Vino a estudiar sus costumbres locales, una razón nada sorprendente para que una intelectual erudita apareciera en un remoto asentamiento del desierto. But little did she know, this dusty old town and its peculiar custom would lead her down an entirely unexpected path.
Hold on. Sorry to interrupt, Recoleta. Does this researcher have a name? She could be Nora, Joanna, or Teresa. Any name, really. I feel like you want people focusing on this story, not keeping track of who's who.
Thank you for your advice. But she isn't a Nora, or a Joanna, or a Teresa. She's just herself. A paracausality researcher.
You see that look? She's halfway to eating you alive. Face it, Maria. She wouldn't be the loca we know if she listened to anyone.
Ah, all right. So you didn't like the opening. Fine. I'll come up with something new. Maybe I'll start with a bit of exposition on the Die of Babylon, beginning with its origins as a secret relic created by an Aztec priest, imprisoned by the conquistadores.
I don't know if that's going to do much, hermana. I'm beginning to think we'll never figure out what you're trying to say with this novel. And, well... and this isn't your fault.
Ay, Dios. Just tell her, Maria. We're going back to Buenos Aires.
¿De vuelta a Buenos Aires? ¿De repente? ¿Así? ¿Sin más? Pancho, Maria, what's going on? Did I do something wrong during our travels? Ah, see. I know what it is. I've bored you with my constant rambling over this novel.
No, Recoleta. It's got nothing to do with your novel.
Don't you get it? We're flat broke. Why do you think we're stuck here scrubbing tables?
Because we can't pay for all the mate we've been drinking.
That wasn't a question, Regoleta. We've crossed the continent, crashed the readings of all those prestigious poets, and leave the way a real artist should. And, I admit it, it's been just as amazing as you promised. But we can't go on living like this.
You know that we both care about you, and we believe in your novel too. I'd be lying if I said this journey meant nothing to me. Getting to ride around the continent on a motorcycle like Che Guevara himself? I never could have imagined I'd get the chance to go on an adventure like this. We got to live the dream.
A real dream. Except for those days when the motorcycle broke down. Though that was a real tribute to Che's journey too.
Don't tease, Pancho. Recoleta, Since you invited us to join the Visceral Realists, we've both found amazing new ways to channel our inner poetry. Even though I still don't understand what in the world you're trying to say with your novel, or for that matter, what visceral realism actually is.
Maria, Pancho.
You told us not to worry about the definitions, to feel and to live in our words. We did just as you said, and it felt great. But... ahora el frío del invierno se instala y lo único que parece importante es ese pequeño pueblo ficticio.
I appreciate your honesty, amigos. I was worried the problem was much worse than all that. Winter here isn't as dreadful as you think, and I know just the place to keep us warm. It was 1520. Arcanist Ferdinand Magellan sailed across unfamiliar waters under orders from the Spanish crown. Over the vast gray sea, he saw spots of light in the distance. An island. He named it Tierra del Fuego. For the next 400 years, Ushuaia faithfully served its role at the end of the world. It became the continent's penal colony, and its largest building even served as a prison. Many arcanists were exiled there. By the turn of the century, the arcanist hunt had reached its peak, and the Comala Sanatorium was built. Well, as you may already know, at that time, most arcanists were believed to be victims of madness. The sanatorium was their ship of fools. However, as people began to realize that arcanist blood wasn't a guarantee of madness, fewer and fewer were imprisoned there. By 1947, it was officially closed. Until the 1970s, when a group of people from the National Foucault Studies Association returned to the island with new ideas for the location. They spoke in abstract terms and opaque theories that no one could understand. They rebuilt this place and gave it a new name. After a long period of construction, the Comala Sanatorium became a prison once more, one designed to hold arcanist criminals. They were taken from the streets and the psychiatric clinics, from secret societies and rebel groups. Any arcanist deemed mentally or socially unfit would be locked away there. This association claimed the inmates would receive the best treatment, and they would fully recover before being returned to society. A prison, a medical lab, a sanatorium, call it whatever you want. That is what Comala is today. And we could spend the whole winter there. It'd probably be the easiest winter we've ever had. All that it requires is a little bit of acting. It won't be hard to pass ourselves off as a bunch of unstable crackpots. A touch of madness comes parceled with the gifts of being an arcanist.
That's your brilliant idea? To get us locked up in an asylum? You understand we'd be prisoners there, don't you? It's not like we get to put our feet up and relax by a fire.
You want to go to jail? Well, see that man over there? Go greet him with a punch to the jaw, then you'll be set for the whole winter.
It sounds like a good idea.
Recoleta, please. We're not messing with the Gendarmeria. We're going to my Aunt Julia's. She said she could take us in at her vineyard up north near the capital. But with harvest season, they could use all the help they can get. We'll return to Ushuaia next year. Or when the winter has passed. It'll still be great.
I hear you, amigos. But respectfully, I must turn down your offer. This has been more than just a road trip for me. I know sticking around here for the winter won't be easy, but this could be my last chance. What if things change again? I can't just wait for spring.
Recoleta.
What did I tell you, Maria? She never listens. Wasting your breath. Adios, Recoleta. I don't think we'll meet again. Mierda! Los gendarmes are looking straight at us!
What?
Stop right there! You three match the descriptions of some intruders at the poetry meeting in Casa Pionera.
Just when I thought things couldn't get any worse.
Nothing unexpected. For now. Perfectly understood.
Yes, I know. Tú decides.
Do you have a little faith in me, Master?
What? You still don't recognize me? What about now? Time for a special massage. ¿Intentarlo de nuevo?
Perfectly understood. Plan A. Flee, mortals! Stay back, I say! A might pass.
Yes, I know.
Plan B. Plan A.
What? You still don't recognize me? What about now?
Finally, it's just you and me, Master. Do 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 do.
Gracias a Dios. Creo que los perdimos. Are you all right? Gracias. Better to kiss the ground than kiss the gendarme's boots, if one must choose. Wait a second. Doris, is that you? Funny how life moves in circles and puts an old friend in my path. How have you been? Are you paying another visit to Comala? Doris.
Timekeeper, could she meet her, Dr. Doris?
Was I mistaken? How strange. I've never seen two people so alike. But please, forgive me. It's been a long day.
No need to apologize. In fact, the person you just mentioned sounds like someone we're looking for. Could you tell me where you last saw her?
Sure, Excuse me. You're not from around here, are you? Your accents and those clothes give you away. Come with me. I know a warmer place to talk.
The moment armies start to march, the world stands still. You fight or fall back. Charge forward or run. Those are the only rules on the battlefield. I don't see a start time on this report, nor does it state the reason for or the demands of this war. That's what you think. The scars left on the land may be the most obvious form of destruction. But the true devastation of war is one that develops gradually in the souls of people. You don't? The young riders have all been exiled, sent down a path with no signs to follow and no destination. In dark days of bloody conflict, soldiers often find comfort in scriptures and verses, or in letters from their loved ones. They hold those words close, a fragile piece of home, a brief solace from the roaring of the battlefield. But as they fall one by one, they learn the bitter truth. No destiny awaits them but death. That bitter homesickness still weighing heavy in their hearts. In dreams, maybe. Walking the streets of your hometown, spending a lazy afternoon at the writing desk. Dreams can take you anywhere. But live there too long, and the lines between fiction and reality will blur. And soon, you'll never wake up again. Soldiers crawl through trenches, roll in the mud, and charge to their deaths again and again. While words are forever trapped within the confines of poetry, made to live, die, and live again under the golden prophecy. Ugh, I can't stand the way poets talk.
According to these news reports from Ushuaia, there was an arcane attack on the pier about a week ago. All the ships in the port were destroyed. Could Manus Vindictae be responsible for this? Or perhaps the Xeno rebels?
Hard to say. But things have been suspiciously quiet these past few days. I had been hoping we'd find some clues here in Ushuaia after we lost track of the Manus in the Free Breeze shipwreck. They would have gone to ground somewhere remote and off the radar. Indeed, it's possible they've already left Ushuaia. For whatever reason, it seems they haven't been pushing for the storm to happen quite as eagerly as before. I have a strange feeling about it all. They're definitely up to something. For now, it seems our new friend's story lines up with the intel from Moth. It seems the Xeno rebels really did bring Dr. Dorez here. We should see if there's anything more she can tell us.
Timekeeper. The Foundation doesn't have any intelligence on Tierra del Fuego. If the Manus really are here, then we'll be on our own. The closest Foundation branch is in Buenos Aires, 3,200 kilometers away.
Careful and well considered as ever, Soneto. It's possible they've already infiltrated Ushuaia, just as they did in Chisos. But the Xeno rebels may still be holding Dorez. We can't just wait around. I'm afraid we'll have to take the risk. Ushuaia is not very big. If Manus Vindictae is here, we'll notice. Stay sharp.
Understood, Timekeeper. I'll keep an eye out for them and for Dr. Dorez.
My friends. They're really gone. Adios, Recoleta. I don't think we'll meet again. So that's all I get? We could have exchanged some farewell poems, read them out loud like we used to, and shed a few bitter tears over our heartfelt goodbyes. But you know what they say. Goodbyes are only a senseless feast of unhappiness.
Pardon?
Oh, it's nothing. Never mind. Please, sit down. And could we get a pot of mate with mint, please?
Thank you.
So you're looking for Doris? I can tell she's important to you from your look.
Correct. Is there anything more you could tell us about the day you met her?
Of course. It was one of those gray, overcast afternoons. I had just turned onto Calle Bolivar when I ran into this blind woman on my way to the post office. To be exact, I didn't run into her. She called to me. It felt like a sacred moment in time. Like something unworldly. I just stood there, frozen, as she walked up and fixed a loose thread on my sweater. I stared at her until my fingers went numb, and the letter almost slipped out of my hand.
Miss, could you tell me what's in that direction?
I followed her hand as she pointed forward. Strangely, even though I could see she was blind, I had a feeling that she knew exactly where she was pointing and where she intended to go. That's the way to Comala Prison, Señora. Is that where you're headed? I could walk you there if you'd like.
Thank you, miss. But I think I've found my way.
She held a typewriter. How ironic that God would give her, at once, both books and night. I am Recoleta. What may I call you, miss? I hope you don't mind me asking, Señora. I didn't mean to pry. It's only that I have to know. You're a writer too, aren't you? I've been working on a novel, and for some reason, I have this feeling you could be a character in it. Forgive me. I'm just so excited. I really want to remember this moment. Please, may I have your name? Or whatever you'd like me to call you? I don't think I'll ever forget her smile. It was soft, kind, almost merciful. And oddly, it felt so ancient.
No offense taken, Miss Recoleta. But first, I have a question for you. What does literature mean to you?
Sorry? What a question it was. I wasn't expecting anything like it.
You're a writer, are you not? And one I sense with purpose. Tell me, where does such powerful motivation come from?
Actually, well, I'm not sure, Senora. I have my pursuits and questions, but literature is neither the goal nor the answer to them. Literature is, well, it's just literature. I suppose if I had to define it, I'd say it's a tool. A kindling for fire, or a lens to see through. A means to explore and raise questions from different angles and express our perspectives.
And what an interesting perspective you've expressed. I see. But how does literature make you feel?
As though I'm a kid looking through a kaleidoscope for the first time. Well, maybe that's not the best way to put it. Perhaps something a little more subtle. Just when I was looking for the right word, she turned away with a little wave, heading toward the prison, her feet crunching over the fine snow. So she must have gone to the prison.
When did all of this happen?
About 3 days ago. I remember the sun came out for a while that day, and the streets were glistening with melting snow. You've heard of Comala Prison, haven't you?
"3 days ago? Then we may be able to catch up with her there, Timekeeper."
You're right. We need to get there as soon as we can.
Whoa, amazing. So decisive, assertive. A true show of character. You must be the very archetype of a charismatic leader. What's left to say? Whenever the protagonist has what they want fall into their laps, we're all quick to complain about lazy writers using Deus Ex Machina to keep the story together. So, let's not dwell on it. But anything can happen in a place like Ushuaia. It's a city where the day may only last 4 hours, and the streets are full of exiled arcanists.
We appreciate your help, Miss
Recoleta, please think nothing of it.
Miss Recoleta. I'm Vertin, and this is Soneto. We're investigators from the St. Pablo Foundation.
Pleasure to meet you.
Likewise, likewise. Glad that I could help. But listen, ladies. Everything happens for a reason, and now it's becoming clear. You're going to Comala Prison, and so am I. Maybe it's fate that brought us together.
What's your business there? If you don't mind our asking.
Oh, it's a writer's mission. But anyway, we're friends now. If you're going to Comala, you'll need someone who knows the way. Behold, Comala Prison. It's the biggest building around. When the sun comes out, it looks like a rusty button stitched into the earth. Everyone tries not to pay attention to it, but it's undoubtedly one of the most important places in town. This way. Careful. We're heading uphill. Oops! Thanks. So, my new friends, you're from that St. Palominos?
St. Pavlov Foundation. And Vertin is the timekeeper there.
Ah, very impressive. Sounds all official and polished. Then, I take it you've already got away into the prison?
I'll draft a letter to headquarters right away. Once they approve it, they'll notify the local branch in Buenos Aires. From there, they'll need to inform the Argentine government, who will then issue us a permit.
Excellent. Looks like our bureaucrats still have some worth. No offense intended, of course.
Since we're pressed for time, I believe we can ask that headquarters give high priority to our request. If all goes well, we should have the permit in about a month.
Ah, how expedient of them. But you know what? Maybe we shouldn't bother all those hard-working government officials with these trifling matters after all. I have a simpler solution that suits the urgency of our cause.
That sounds great. Oh, where are you going, Miss Recoleta?
To the other side of the wall, of course. From Guadalajara to Ushuaia. There has yet to be a wall that could stop me. Come on, ladies of the Foundation. Soneto, take my hand.
Miss Recoleta, please. A reckless act like that could have serious consequences. Please come back down. In fact, while the details of our mission are classified, I should warn you it may be dangerous, and we cannot guarantee your safety once we're inside. Perhaps it's in your best interest to return to town.
What? That is definitely not in my best interest. What sort of pusillanimous coward would I be if I just abandoned my fated companions here? Of course I'm going in with you. Or rather, you're coming with me.
Please get down, Miss Recoleta. Someone's coming our way.
Stop right there. What do you think you're doing?
Caramba! It's her again! The jailer of Comala!
Did she say jailer or jaguar?
Be serious. Stay focused.
Need to issue props. Get ready.
Cradle!
Yes, this is perfect. Letting, pick yourself up. Let's go.
Nice! Everything's packed.
Need to reshoot.
Sprinkle! I've already said that Sotheby doesn't need a bodyguard.
Miss Recoleta, haven't I made myself clear? I don't want to see you here again.
Jailer, we meet again. What a delightful encounter on such a... lovely day.
Would you please just leave this place alone? I'll never understand why a promising young woman like you keeps snooping around a prison. I can't make this any clearer. Trying to break into Comala will do nothing to get you inside, but it will get you into a world of trouble with the Gendarmeria. So, will you stop these senseless breaking attempts? Comala Prison is only accessible to academic researchers and journalists, and even they must have official credentials in order to enter.
Isn't there any other way to pay a visit? I truly do need to get in there.
Sorry to interrupt, but did you just say official credentials?
Yes, you heard me right. And you are?
I'm the timekeeper of the St. Pavlov Foundation. My assistant and I are here to visit Comala Prison on official orders from the Foundation. Here, this is my ID.
This is indeed legitimate. Welcome to Comala Prison. Apologies for my earlier behavior. It's been a while since we've had any official visitors.
Día tras día, la investigadora de paracausalidad se escondía en la naturaleza fuera del pueblo de Amalfitano, estudiando los datos que había recolectado. Una tarde, al anochecer, una voz llamó desde fuera de su cueva. Ella dejó el equipo y las cintas y salió afuera. Un hombre estaba de pie, curioso, frente a su puerta. ¿Qué haces aquí?, preguntó, levantando ambas cejas. Nada sucede en Amalfitano en estos días. El local se presentó como el empleado del banco. Probablemente tenía la cara más amable del lugar. Ojos brillantes, mejillas levantadas, una mandíbula suave. Era una cara llena de esperanza. La investigadora le mostró los espectros que había estado recopilando. He estado recolectando historias sobre el dado, explicó. Quizás ellos contienen la clave para explicar la aleatoriedad que muestra el destino. Ah, eso realmente me intriga, respondió rápidamente el empleado del banco. Me encantaría escuchar todo sobre eso, pero debo irme. No debo llegar tarde al funeral del pescador de dunas. Y con eso se fue. 3 días después, los mismos pasos regresaron a su cueva. ¿Volviste? ¿Cómo has estado? ¿Lograste llegar al funeral?, preguntó. No tengo idea de lo que estás hablando, respondió de manera cortante. No soy el hombre que crees que soy. Su rostro estaba agotado y demacrado, sus ojos hundidos profundamente en huecos vacíos. Era como si toda chispa de vida le hubiera sido arrancada, dejándolo solo con una cáscara vacía. La investigadora insistió que no se había equivocado. Conozco a las personas por su naturaleza más profunda, hasta la sincronización de sus espectros. Nunca me he equivocado antes. Lo que tú digas, el hombre murmuró de manera áspera. No entiendo nada de tus ideas tan elevadas. Solo déjame ir. Ha sido un largo día de pesca y lo único que quiero ahora es desplomarme en mi cama tambaleante. Se alejó con pasos que sonaban exactamente como los del empleado del banco.
As you might have noticed, Miss Burton, this facility isn't just a prison. It's also a research center. Its full name is the Panopticon of Comala. It was established by the Foucault Association in 1975. We've hosted workshops, academic sessions, and even lectures about the Panopticon. You may even have seen some reports about it. Experts of psychoanalysis and scholars from various fields have come here to exchange ideas and seek collaboration in their studies. In many ways, the Panopticon is unlike any other prison you've seen before.
I see. No wonder Miss Recoleta has gone to such lengths to become a part of it. Actually, my assistant and I are here to inquire about a prisoner named Doris. Does that name sound familiar?
Not that I recall. Could she have used a different name? What does she look like?
She'd have arrived here about 3 days ago. It's also possible that she came as a visitor, not a prisoner. She's a blind woman who always carries an old typewriter. She used to be a doctor at the Sao Paulo Veterans Residence in Brazil. And on the subject of different names, she once wrote for Atu under the name Erd.
I don't think I've seen anyone fitting that description. And as I said, we haven't had any visitors in some time. Certainly not in the last 3 days.
But I did see her.
I saw her walking towards Comala prison.
Someone must have mixed up their memories. Simply put, I don't recall seeing anyone by that name or with that description here.
I see. Thank you, miss. Perhaps we made a mistake. Miss Recoleta, you've gone to great lengths to get into the Panopticon. Would you mind telling us why?
Finally! I've been waiting for you to ask. I'm here to find my pen pal in Comala.
You have a pen pal? In here?
Yes. 6 months ago, I went to a book exhibition in Guadalajara and came across the contact details of a few writers. I sent them my novel and asked for feedback. Looking back, it was a bit forward, but nothing unheard of between writers. A lot of friendships start through letters, you see. And Aleph wrote back.
And how much do you know about this pen pal of yours?
Oh, well, he calls himself Aleph, which is a grammatically masculine word, so...
So you assume Aleph is a man?
Yes, he's probably a poet, a writer, perhaps even an alchemist. He's one of the brightest people I know. There's never been a question that he couldn't answer. I've asked him about religion, politics, history, potions, even critters in length and breadth. Can you imagine someone who knows all those things and so extensively too? And he helped me with my novel. He always seems to know the best ways to bring my characters to life. Honestly, he's so insightful. I've begun wondering if he's omniscient. With his help, my story grew richer and fuller, like a well-tended plant. Strangely, can't seem to take it any further now. It's as if the roots have been sapped of their strength. I couldn't understand why, so I resolved that I would see him in person to find out.
Again with this story about your uncanny pen pal, I've already told you 1,000 times. It's all very moving, but it still doesn't justify your actions. Writers experience mental blocks all the time, yet you don't see them trying to break into a prison over it.
She does have a point.
Please, Burden, jailer, have a little mercy, will you?
Hold on. I've been meaning to ask. Why are you only calling her jailer? Don't you know her name? Or do you just prefer addressing people by their occupation?
Oh, about that.
It's okay, Miss Verta. I don't mind being called by my job title. I take pride in what I do. I'm perfectly fine with just being the jailer.
Exactly. A researcher is a researcher, and a jailer is a jailer. Titles and codenames often tell us more about people than their ordinary given names, don't you think? Take Sonetto, for example. Your name comes from sonnets, doesn't it? That great poetic form from Italy. Some people mistakenly think Shakespeare invented it. Some say it was Petrarca, though no one really knows when the first sonnet was written. Sorry, I'm straying from my point. You're Italian, aren't you, Sonetto? Is that your real name, or just a code name? Were your parents poets?
As much as I'd like to be able to answer your question, I never knew my parents. My earliest memories were of the School of Primary Defense of Mankind. I've lived there since I was a small child.
My apologies. That was thoughtless of me.
It's fine. You meant no ill intent, I'm sure. Timekeeper, if Miss Recoleta was right about Dr. Doris's whereabouts, perhaps the jailer is keeping things from us. Or perhaps Dr. Doris visited the Panopticon without her knowledge. Either way, we need to do some digging here.
I agree. Let's see if we can talk to some of the inmates and find out what they know.
Ladies, we're about to enter the main hall of the Panopticon. This is one of the places where the inmates spend their recreation time. At this hour, they are supposed to be in their cells. But what's all that noise? Miss Burton, could you keep an eye on Recoleta if anything happens?
Certainly.
What do you take me for? I'm not going to run away. That'd be a pretty cheesy way to start a story.
Please, just stay close to me.
La Sociedad de Poetas de las Americas? Pardon the interruption, but might I ask? I've come to learn the name of this land. Ushuaia. As we walked, I could feel her gaze upon me. Steady, yet never intrusive. I sensed I had been brought to a place most unusual. A building with a quiet peculiarity in the air. I suppose I must claim a little freedom for myself in this place. I'm sorry for your undue trouble, my diligent friends. I'm here for a short visit. hoping to find some inspiration for my next story.
I know many celebrities buy outrageous insurance policies for their bodies, their voices, hands, even their faces. Some people suggested that I insure my head like that.
I didn't expect any of this from what we saw outside.
Oh, excuse me for a moment. I have duties that I must attend to.
They don't seem intimidated by her at all.
Yeah. They just look like a bunch of artists having a chat in the garden. And the jailer seems to be like a grumpy neighbor coming over to ask them to keep it down.
Everyone, you know the rules. There are to be no after-hours gatherings here without the physician's approval.
You sound softer and softer each time you come to warn us. Why not just join us? Isn't it better than circling around the Panopticon all day? And look around you. We're in the Hall of New Encounters. What better place to host a salon?
You're missing out in Comala if you don't even get a taste of our literature.
Exactly. Even those oil-dripping musicians drop by from time to time. Not that they're the kind to care about the beauty of words.
Oil-dripping musicians? Timekeeper, could they mean...
Quiet now, please. The Aediles Salon is about to start.
These people seem friendly enough. Why don't we see what this is about?
En desiertos, en estrellas, dentro de laberintos.
En aguas, en espejos, dentro de reflejos.
Soñamos sobre la almohada de paja de la muerte.
Aquí estamos, rendiendo homenaje a los fantasmas.
Para rendirlo todo otra vez. Para rendirlo todo otra vez.
My dear friends, we face a difficult truth. The movement of visceral realism still stumbles in the dark. Our poems, our language, our minds are tangled by a stifling vine. A mundane, stale vision shared among all bourgeoisie. We follow this vision blindly, clinging to the comfort brought by logic and conventional wisdom, and by it, we nip every branch of new art in the bud. Poems are perhaps too fragile an outgrowth to develop one's life upon, but here we may light them like candles at our funerals. Let poetry become the bridge between us and the world.
As we come back and forth over the boundaries of life and death, the old obstacles begin to take on a new look. With the eyes of poets, we may see behind them. You're a visceral realist. I can't be mistaken. You must be...
A lonely cowboy, finally home. What a wonder. You're in time. The salon has just begun. And La Sociedad de Poetas de las Americas isn't like those salons that care more about who's invited than the art. All are welcome here.
A literary salon in a prison? Though, so far, it seems to have more dancing than poems.
Did you understand what that man just said?
No, sorry, Timekeeper. I need a moment to think it through.
Don't worry, Sonato. I would guess we're not the only ones who are confused here. Miss Jailer, is this that peculiarity about Kamala you mentioned earlier?
Enough, idealist. You're still an inmate here, and you are walking a very fine line right now.
Oh, I'm quite aware of where I am and what lines I tread. This is a prison, the safest place for poets in this part of the continent. One cannot be arrested twice, after all. But please, don't trouble yourself with our little farce. What harm could a few poets possibly do?
Senor Idealist, might I ask you something?
Hold on, Recoleta. All forms of communication with the inmates must conform to our regulations. We will need to record the conversation and submit it to higher authorities for review.
I have some questions for the gentleman as well, but we're more than willing to follow the rules. I think the person I'm looking for might have attended this literary salon, or at least talked to some of its members. I'd wager she's spoken to that gentleman. That is, if she has been here at all.
I see. Go ahead then. Just watch the time.
Are you Aleph?
Oh, another visitor looking for Aleph.
So you know him?
Naturally, but I'm not obliged to speak of him to one who does not, stranger. And you, young lady in the hat, are you here for Aleph as well? What a lively day this is.
No, I'm looking for a blind woman. Her name is Doris.
Ah, yes, I remember. Her writing was impeccable, like an exquisite crocodile skin handbag in a shop window. Elegant, yet condescending.
Do you know where she is now?
I'm not able to keep track of every inmate here, miss. Perhaps you should ask those who have seen everything from above. Through the glass, where the scrutinizing eyes of power look down on us.
Eyes?
Have you taken your medicine today, Idealist?
I'm feeling marvelous. Today I require no help from them.
I've warned you. It's unwise to act against the physician's orders.
Act against him? No one may act against him here. The physician must have misunderstood us. I suspect he doesn't understand half of what we say. I'd like to know how he got his medical degree. Not by cracking open skulls, I should hope. What a pity, jailer. You know, I've always believed you had the soul of a poet, just like us. We've already spoken enough rebellious thoughts outside of Komala. How else do you think we ended up in your nut house? We've been here far too long. Long after the junta was removed from office. After our home became a deserted wasteland in the aftermath of the Latin American boom.
What are you getting at?
That power is boring, meaningless. Nothing holds on to power forever. And the one true connection we have to life is poetry.
See, jailer? Even an outsider understands our ideas better than you. It's time to open your eyes to reality. La Sociedad is the only way for us to feel truly alive in here, beneath the gaze of those prying, ever-vigilant eyes.
Idealist, last warning. Stop this now.
Fine, fine. All right, compañeros. Sadly, the salon must come to an end, as our jailer insists. Dear friends, I do not mean to abuse the power of suspense. I sincerely invite you to come with me to the heart of La Sociedad de Poetas de las Americas. Perhaps you'll find the person you look for there.
We'd love to. Only if that's okay with you, Miss Jailer.
I suppose that's all right. You're already here. We can call it part of your tour, but please, ladies, take none of their rumblings seriously.
Thank you, jailer. Please, follow me.
Hello there.
Wait, this isn't the way to the gallery.
It isn't the usual way. It's a shortcut. We call it the Reptilian Complex and Primal Hunger route. Much faster than the limbic system and postmodern anxiety route, let me tell you.
But this passageway has long been abandoned, and entry is prohibited. It's extremely dangerous to...
Relax, jailer. No one, not even you, knows this prison better than I.
But, Timekeeper, I think we've just gone in a circle.
Everything's packed.
Need to reshoot. Rob, get ready.
Time to turn the page.
The audience will love this. This is our big scene.
Let me see. Everything's packed. Be serious. Stay focused. I need to find some shade. It's so bright. How can I read? We can do this, Marcus. What's your face? Be serious. Stay focused. This place is a real page turner. Let me see. What's your race?
Need to reshoot.
Write faster. Say hello. Just like in a train.
Rob, get ready.
Be serious. Stay focused.
Oh, don't worry. I have prepared it all. I have prepared it all.
Focus. 雞嚟喎。
Let's take a step back. Pull you out of that whirlwind of passion and dreams. If you want to make the best call, you need to zero in on what really matters. So what's your take on that big speech? A sudden explosion that shook Latin American literary circles about 30 years ago. It was destructive, but also gave rise to new life. And lucky for us, we don't have to worry about shell shock in the literary world. It's not about knowing literature. Any soldier with little experience can deliver a status report. All right, eyes on the map. As we speak, ships are lined up on the Spanish coast. But this time, they're poised to make a new kind of discovery. If you can call it that. And here are our new Columbuses, heading to the docks to embark on their journey. Carmen and Carlos, the driving force behind this literary feast between Spain and Latin America. Carmen, with an eye for opportunity and a mind for business, sought out the continent's literary gems and secured generous publishing deals for them. Carlos, with his deep understanding of market dynamics, brought these works to the eyes of the European public. Then, a golden era began. It all kicked off with a scandal at a military academy. And soon, the entire world was captivated by the story of a baby with a pig's tail from a faraway land. But we mustn't forget the writers themselves. Fuentes, a towering figure of the Spanish-speaking world, and Cortázar, the writer ever seeing through the eyes of a child. And of course, Mario and Gabo, key players in this literary revolution, will forever be etched in the annals of history. They corresponded regularly, always expressing deep admiration for each other's work. In fact, one even wrote a doctoral thesis on the other. Ah, friendship. It was. But no matter how explosive the boom was, it couldn't escape its fleeting nature. With the second imprisonment and self-criticism of a Cuban poet, in came an inexplicable right hook, and bang, silence. The military junta had gripped the poets' throats. The verse of the pioneers was cut off, their voices no longer heard. The bond between two generations was broken, and for the younger of the two, the silence was intolerable. They looked for a new theme, a new idea, a new voice, a new method to speak on their disappointment, their horror, and their anger. And they became the new guerrillas.
It'd be a waste to spend the whole night sleeping. Why not join us for a game of mahjong? It'll be a learning experience. You can pick up some Chinese from reading the tiles. Don't worry, Miss Moisson is a great teacher. You'll catch on quickly with her help. I'll see you later then. Finally, we have enough players.